with Treasuresfp peers, and I am out and about finding treasures all the time, and guess what? I found Chad, and he's going to tell us an exciting, interesting concept and program that he started. It's called Because We Love Lincoln Park. Now, Chad, I want you to tell us all about this.
Sure. Because We Love Lincoln Park is a nonprofit that I started because the neighborhood of Lincoln Park has had economic issues for a very long time, and it was simply looking through Google and looking at different maps. I came across the area and I noticed how many of the empty lots were tax delinquent, and that there was no progress in the last 20 years or so for that particular neighborhood. And Because We Love Lincoln Park is a community redevelopment project designed to help bring Lincoln Park and elevate it to a higher level.
That is so fascinating. There's different aspects to this. I know you're starting like a share food program and planting the trees, and tell us about the different aspects and how we can also get involved.
We start out by lobbying the city for different changes of municipal codes that we find are repressive to the people of the neighborhood. Things like starting your own business in your home. There are certain rules around that, or having customers come to your house, and so we're trying to figure out ways to alleviate the issues. But in our immediate capacity, we're planting fruit trees in as many of these vacant lots as we possibly can.
You have acquired.
Yes. I started buying properties through the tax lien and tax deed sales, and when we acquired these properties, we started to notice that there were huge amounts of money still owed to the city, and it made progressing in development impossible. A lot that costs you $5,000 will owe the city $60,000. So we're lobbying the city to change some of those rules and to make certain programs that will help people alleviate or get rid of some of those liens. And when we take over these lots, because we haven't been able to move forward on some of them, we've decided that people's access to food in that neighborhood is limited. The most recent study from the Allegheny Franciscan Ministry said that people have food in the neighborhood, it's just that it's too expensive for them to purchase. So we've decided to try to simplify that and plant food all over the neighborhood.
And that way it becomes self-sufficient as well.
Now, what we're planting are fruit trees and perennial vegetables, so it doesn't take a lot of water to maintain, it doesn't take a lot of input. If you have to go away for 6 months and you come back to your lot, you can take care of all the pruning that you missed in probably a weekend. So it's not going to create more blight. Our main issue with the neighborhood is these vacant, blighted, polluted lots, and we're trying to find specific cures for each of the different lots.
The other aspect of that is you have the tiny home project. Tell us about that. Tell us the name of it.
The Ikaya, or small house. Ikaya means
not
home.
Kayak.
Yeah, not kayak.
Okay.
Ikaya means home, and so we've looked at the tiny house movement over the last 5 or 6 years, and it is impossible to find a tiny home, say 320 square feet, for less than $120,000 once they deliver it and hook everything up. And so we've spent the last 2 years trying to figure out what people need and how to design a tiny home with aging and growing older and having a family in mind, where the house morphs with the people who live in it.
And that's what was kind of impressive to me.
Yeah, and so we can start off, you can set up a studio for your 20-year-old who is going to college, and the cost of that studio is, something that someone working a job at Walmart will be able to afford. Because you have to remember, these people are paying $1,100 a month for rent, yet mortgages for the neighborhood are at $600, and they don't qualify for a mortgage. So we're trying to find ways that people who generally don't have access can find access through working, through making the community a little bit more beautiful, and by being a little bit more involved.
I think this is so exciting that you have come to our town from
Miami, yeah.
and that you want to help this area do something positive and being self-sufficient, having your own home, even though it's a tiny home, it's still your own. And
more importantly, it's paid off. You don't have a mortgage. If you make, if you made minimum wage at $600 a week, that would leave you, after you paid your base mortgage, 3, payments or 3 paychecks. And that money would be spent in the neighborhood. It would be spent possibly getting your child a better education. It could also be saved and create generational wealth for your family.
You were also talking to me about having like community yoga and drums and some music and things like that.
It's about creating something to do. Most people, when they get into trouble or when they have issues with, substance abuse, or they have some kind of drama going on in their life, it's caused because they didn't have anything to do. They were easily distracted by something that supposedly took their problems away, creating nothing but more problems. And so we're trying to set up a situation where we don't come into the neighborhood to just extract things. Like, to me, a full moon drum circle and having a small barbecue and some fire pits burning while your neighbors talk and have a good time next to Moore's Creek, which is a very vital waterway for our neighborhood, is a way to introduce people to conservation and keeping Moore's Creek clean while they laugh and dance and have a good time with their neighbors and meet their neighbors.
Family fun.
Yeah.
And like you said, something to do.
It's a way of getting artists in the neighborhood to engage with people.
Exactly.
What we're doing is basically a permaculture project, trying to bring a sense of design to how people live and how they set up their homes, how they set up their yards, trying to get a sense of ecological regeneration, not just being able to sustain stuff, not just trying to, recycle some of the products that you use in your home. We're trying to get Lincoln Park to be an eco-tourist destination where there could be tiny house tours, there could be, tours of people's gardens.
Like fun.
Yeah, just an annual tiny house tour where the different people compete. You would see different expressions. Somebody might put up oak panels for siding, somebody might put up brick, but their yards and their home will be an expression of the neighborhood, its history, its culture. And I think that it would not only enliven Lincoln Park, but it would bring people to our area.
Absolutely.
One of our major initiatives is, and the start of our movement has been talking to the city and getting the city to rethink some of the rules, the zoning rules around Lincoln Park. Our ultimate goal is to set up a market zoning or a market garden zoning where people in Lincoln Park who are already growing fruit and vegetables could possibly sell that through some kind of co-op or some kind of deal with the city where it's, by appointment only.
Sure.
But we need to be able to get people to use not only skills that they've learned, but talents that they have in a way to generate income in a way that makes them more responsible for their own lives.
I know what I wanted to ask you about. Because We Love Lincoln Park is a 501(c)(3).
Yes.
So if you want to help and do something financially to help this program and learn more about it, then you can go to the website.
Yes, on our website there are donate buttons and to help us fund certain projects. And you can always go to the Tractor Supply website and buy us a gift card from Tractor Supply. We use a lot of the materials there. They sell great fruit trees, and we buy fruit trees from them for what I think is a slight premium because we can automatically graft more trees from those. So if you just go to Tractor Supply and send us a gift certificate from there, that would more than help us, and you'd know that your money was going directly to an actual project and not to my rent.
Exactly. But that would be okay. The one thing that I really thought was cool with the tiny homes is that if you wanted to, there is a contractor, but you can help in the process of building out your own
Yes.
home.
One of the issues that we found was that contractors not only did not have the skills to build small, because a lot of them will tell you they don't have the time, they don't have the energy, and some will outright tell you they don't have the skills to shrink down what it is that they did, which is why the cost was $120,000. You can
Sure.
get any house at that price. But we've designed this house so that all of the pieces can be purchased from Home Depot or from Lowe's, and 3 or 4 people could put this house together without any engineering skills, without any real building skills. If you know how to use a hammer and a drill, you'd be able to put the house together.
But it's learning and brings more ownership.
Yeah,
to the project.
I like to think of it like a Quaker barn raising, where everybody in the neighborhood eventually would need a barn.
Right.
Everybody here in Lincoln Park is going to need a home. So we get together and we help someone build their unit, and then the neighborhood will go around and help everyone finish their project.
I want you to tell us how people can research what you're doing. How can they find out more than what we're talking about here? Can you get online? You have a website?
Yes, our website is it's BCAUSE, BecauseWeLoveLincolnPark.org, and we're on Facebook. You can friend me and connect to Because We Love Lincoln Park and our Ikaya project.
That sounds wonderful. I want to thank you, Chad, for coming and doing a video with me and being our spotlight of the week, the month, the year, because I think this project's going to be good.
Thank you.
And we want to root you on with something positive and treasure of work here.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.